And take 4. That's right. I have tried so many times to record this video, but something either happens or somebody texts me. My phone wasn't on silent. So I fixed it this time. So, happy belated 4th of July, everybody. Thank you to everybody that's new, that started following me, that's became a new subscriber. If you're following me on here, on whatever major platform, I appreciate you. Thank you, YouTube, for allowing us to do these, because this is my special place other than my studio. And yeah, so you may remember the banner from previous older videos, way older. That's my banner, my MC Fish Sticks banner. I'm your host, MC Fish Sticks, and tonight I want to talk a little about paranormal, just a little bit. So 4th of July, speaking of which, I was hanging out with friends. We were hanging out in what's known as a horse corral, so like it's very open area, gravel, kind of set in the mindscape here. We live in a desert area, so there's no trees. And, you know, we watched the city fireworks. Good job, by the way, this time. They weren't too bad. I had my son with me. He's almost 2. And I was the last vehicle to leave the area. So I put him in his car seat. I make sure he has his drink, his toy, and I get in the car. When I get in the car, I hear clear as day somebody rapping like tink, tink, tink on my passenger window. So I look over and I'm like, what was that? And I'm like, yeah, it was nothing, you know, gloss it over. And I put the key in the ignition and tink happens again. I look over and I'm like, and I look back at my son and I'm like, did you just throw something? And as I'm looking at him, I hear it again. And I'm like, oh, all right, somebody's out there messing with me. I don't know how I missed somebody being out here. So I jump out of the car and I literally run around the back of the car. Nobody. I look underneath the car. Nobody. And like I just said, there's at least 50 feet clearing in all directions and nobody in sight. Not a soul. So I'm like, that was weird. So I get back in the car and I look at my son, and I'm like, dude, I don't know what that was, but scared, you know, that got me on edge a little bit. I was not expecting that. I've had paranormal experiences before, so that just, I don't know, it was just out of place. It was something. And so I'm, you know, putting the key back in ignition again, and I turn the key over, and as I do, or right before I do, boom, boom, boom comes from my trunk. And I mean, it was like somebody punched my trunk. So I got out and I ran around the back of the car and I'm like, somebody is out here. Somebody is here. Somebody. I don't know who. So I look under the car again. I spin like 360s and nobody. Not a soul. And I'm like freaking out. So I get back in the car and I'm like, dude, you just had your first official paranormal experience with me. I don't know if you've had one with Mom. She never told me. I don't know. For sure, that would, to this day, I cannot prove that. And I know it was only like a week and a half ago. Or actually a week ago today. But, yeah, it was surreal. And if any of you guys have ever had a paranormal experience, I'd love to hear about it. If you know of any haunted locations, I would love to know about it. I actually used to be avid ghost hunter, an avid ghost hunter. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. Caught some things. I don't know if it was play of the camera. I like to be a skeptic about it until you cannot prove what it is, and then it becomes paranormal. Make sense? I hope it does. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. Because if you're like a gust of wind moves something, you're like, oh my God, it was a ghost. And you're kind of full of it in my book. But on that note, I have a flyer hanging on my wall. Almost everything is actually pinned up in all 4 corners because I don't like stuff falling off my wall. I have a flyer up, and I was watching a video. I don't know if you've ever heard of Sam and Colby. I recently discovered them, and I've been on a little kick, and I've probably watched a good portion of the videos. I don't even think 5%. I found out recently they've been doing it for years. So shout out to you, Sam and Colby. If you ever see this, I appreciate what you do. Yeah. So I, was watching their video, and I happened to look up, and one of my flyers is swaying. Now, I have a fan in my room. I don't use it. I have a heater in my room. It's not on. I live in the basement. My windows are sealed. I do that because I'm terrified of spiders. Sealed. Both windows. I know you can't see the one behind you. It's behind you. Don't worry. So there is no explanation for that gust of wind that I've never experienced here in many a years to randomly start that thing swaying. Never have seen that. So that got me kind of, I wanted to do a different video tonight, and then remembering I didn't get to tell you guys about the knocks, and we're seeing that happen. I was like, yep, change your heart. We're changing the video. So that was crazy. I don't know. Have you guys ever had any paranormal experiences? Have you ever seen an apparition? Have you ever seen a ghost? In case you don't know what apparition means. Have you ever heard a disembodied voice, aka a voice that cannot be explained? Like you're walking around and somebody calls out your name and you're like, and you're alone? You ever heard footsteps when nobody was there? You seen a door slam? Knives fly out? Are you into the paranormal? Are you not into the paranormal? I am. But like I said, I like to be skeptical. I like to be like, that could have been a draft that slammed that door. Open it, give it a couple minutes, turn on fans in another room, heater in another room, see if it pulls it shut because of the air draft. That's, like I said, how I've always thought about it. I like to, I don't know if debunk's the right word, but I like to prove to myself mentally that it could not be anything else before I'm like, yeah, that was a ghost. But I mean, it is really hard. Like, I've seen stuff, I've heard stuff. I used to use the little voice recorders that only record when you're talking. I've used voice recorders on the old school, like you can buy the little tape players at Walmart, and you can only find the cassettes at Walmart anymore. I've used those. Almost never caught anything on those. I've used camcorders, phones, you name it. I haven't got like super technical, like their awesome gear. I'm pointing at my TV right now. I'm actually got a Sam and Colby video up right now. But I never have used, EMF detectors, never used a REM pod, never used any of that. I would love to. An Alice box would be awesome. Spirit box, any of that. That would be supremely awesome. I would love to go on a ghost hunt with them. So if you guys ever see this, MC Fish Sticks is down. I'll even do the 7 minutes in hell. I might regret saying that. I might. I just got a text from somebody, so that kind of creeped me out too. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, paranormal. What are your feelings about it? Do you feel it's real? Do you feel it's crap? Do you feel like these people are making stuff up? Do you feel like their touch flashlights are a gimmick? I've been on both sides of that fence myself. I've definitely seen videos where I'm like, no, you're full of it. I've seen videos where like, oh my God, that's so true. It has to be real. And then somebody debunks it later. They're like, oh, we're going to do a reaction to this video and we're going to prove how it's wrong. And then they do, and it completely changes everything. For those moments, I hate that I believed it. Kind of do. Because I'm like, man, there's got to be something after life. Like, I don't know about, I don't want to get into religious debate on here. But, heaven or hell, or wherever you go to, and wherever you go to, the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever. It's just, I don't know, there's something about it. And I've watched a couple of, she'll probably never watch this either, but Call Me Chris, KMK. That chickie, when she goes on some ghost hunts, her and Spooky Boo, because she won't watch this either. You guys are way too amazing to pay attention to little old me. It's surreal because normally I talk about rap, I talk about music. Like my personal 3 biggest passions in life is music. Number 1, hands down, I love music. It's kind of a tie for the next one. So 2 and 3 are going to take 2, okay? Just a heads up. So 2 and 3 is either astronomy, like space, just looking at stars, knowing about galaxies and everything space. And side note to number 2 is paranormal. Like the CCTVs, the random footage of people driving down and picking up hitchhikers, and they turn and there's nobody there. It makes me wonder, do they have amazing editors? Because some of these people are low budget, they're not using amazing equipment. And what they're picking up is surreal. Or like when, news stations go to like a railroad track and they sprinkle powdered, sugar or baking soda, anything on the tailgate, and they show fingerprints of like them being pushed over the railroad tracks if they stole out their car. How can you fake that? Like when the cameraman's one's pointing directly behind and the other one's just on the swivel, like, is anybody around the car? And, you can clearly see nobody runs up enough to be able to push whatever vehicle they're in off and over the hill. And when they get out, there's clearly fingerprints, not just a set, but I'm talking like 5 sets of fingerprints, so like 50 fingers on the back bumper in different spots. And you could clearly see the dude with the camera out the back window. There's nobody there. That's the kind of stuff I want to experience. I've seen, I don't know what I would call them, a set of red eyes and a black mass. I've seen claws in midair, actually in the room right over there. I've seen my grandma after she passed away, a loved one. I remember we went to her funeral and I never saw her in this certain dress. And we came back home, me and my mom did, and I was like maybe, I don't remember how old, but I remember walking in the front door and we have like a little L-shaped entryway. And at the corner of that entryway, you can see a portion of the living room. I remember walking in and seeing a chair I've never seen before. And a woman sitting there in a red and white polka dot dress. Like clear as day, saw her. And oh my gosh, I'm getting chills. What's weird about it is when I saw her, I didn't like stop and like, who are you in my house? I was like turning to go out the house to help my mom bring in more gear. Like we were coming back from a huge road trip and wanted to get in so that way I could go hang out with homies and all that stuff. And I walked in and I opened the door and I turned and I saw her. And I shut the door and I was like, did I see? Open the door and there's nothing there. And I'm like, nope, I didn't see anything. Okay. That was weird. And we got a whole bunch of stuff from my grandma's when she passed. A whole, couple boxes of things. In one of the boxes I opened was some pictures. You have to understand, I've never seen my grandma wear this dress. I live in Wyoming. She lived in Oklahoma. 16 hours away. And, I never really hung out with her a whole lot. I enjoyed every moment I spent with her because she was an amazing woman. I hope you guys enjoy your grandmas as well. And she was amazing, so just seeing her that split second, I believe it was her anyway. And then I opened this box, not even an hour later, and I'm going through pictures of my mom as a teenager and my mom in her 20s and like when she had my first brother, my second brother, my sister, and me. And, I'm looking through all these pictures and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. This is a lot of memorabilia. And near the bottom of this pile of maybe 30 pictures, there's this picture I pull up. And it's my mom and my grandma in a red and white polka dot dress. And I dropped it. I dropped it. And my mom's like, well, what's the matter? Was there a spider on it? And I was like, no, I saw her. She's like, yeah, you saw her last year. We went down there for a family reunion. And I was like, no, I just saw her. My mom's like, no, that's impossible. She passed away, And I was like, no, I just saw her when I came in the door. Because I didn't tell her that I saw this in the living room. I didn't tell her about the random rocking chair I saw, like a glider. I didn't tell her about the lady in the red and white dress. I didn't tell her. I didn't think I needed to. I thought I was going crazy. I was like, that was a long drive, 10 hours. Actually, I think it was 6 hours because we came from Denver back. And so I was like, no, I just saw her. I saw this dress specifically, just below the knees, and it came up in 2 wide straps. I just saw her. And my mom's starting to freak out. And I was like, I don't know what that means, but I saw her. And to this day, that trips me out. It's weird to think about, I guess. I don't know. The other time that something weird happened was 3 days before my grandpa passed away. Both my TV, actually all three, my TV, my mom's TV, and my sister's TV, different houses, all went white noise. Same time. 3 nights in a row. I don't know how to explain that. Especially since TV these days, if they lose whatever power source, like their cable or their antenna or whatever, they go blue screen. It's been a long time since I've seen a TV go white noise. Or the morning that he passed away, my sister's TV was off and came on in her living room full blast. Full blast. I can't explain that either. It's literally the only time it's ever happened. Only time. And then me and my buddy were actually talking about it a little bit earlier. Actually earlier today, which kind of also drove me on this video. Sorry it's so long, by the way. I hope you're being entertained at least. So when my mom passed away in 2017, I immediately called my best friend, the one I made music with, and I was quite literally, I was losing my mind. My mom passed away. I was her caretaker the last 6 years of life. And so emotionally, I knew I had to call my best friend. So I called her. I was like, hey, just need you to know mom passed away and I need you here. And she was like, all right, I'm on my way. Hung up the phone and my phone starts ringing. Literally click, bloop, and I was like, who's calling me? Name pops up. It's my other best friend. I answer it and I don't even say a word. I don't say what's up. I swear to God, it goes just and he goes, it happened, didn't it? I was like, what happened? And he's all, Mom. I was like, yeah. How did you know? And he's like, I had a weird feeling. I'm on my way. Both of them got there at almost the same time. I think it was literally like a 10-second differential. My buddy was already on the way when he called. Not even 5 minutes after her last breath. Not even. Absolutely not even. I would actually be surprised if it was 2 minutes, to be honest. Because it happened, and I stood up, and I walked into the kitchen, and I called my musical other half. I spent maybe 10, 15 seconds on the phone, and I hung up. And then I answered. And that to me is surreal. So maybe in other videos, I'll tell you of a weird experience I've had with what I've called the lady in red. To be more precise, it's the lady with red hair. When I saw her originally, red dress. Second time I saw her, red dress. When my buddy saw her, the one that called me, and I literally answered the phone, and I was like, it happened, red dress. I didn't see her that time. He did. And I want to say I know who she is, because I've seen pictures of her. I don't know if that's who it is. But maybe for next week, I'll save that whole slew of a story for that. So that way this is not immensely long. I don't know if you guys are going to enjoy this at all. I really hope you do. I really do. I really hope you guys at least watch half of this video. It's so long, I'm sorry. Oh, man. I don't know. Should I just... I'm just going to finish the story. We're already knees deep in it. Knee deep in dark water. What? Anyway, so the very first time I saw the lady in red, we're going to start there. Very first time I saw the lady in red, I was like 13. And I remember I was out of my backyard. I was on the phone with this girl I had a crush on. And I thought I was Mr. Smooth Talker, Silk Tongue, Silver Tongue, whatever. Thought I was being smooth. And I was showing her all these songs I like over this, playing over the radio or whatever. And the next thing I know is I'm talking to this lady. Like, I watched her walk downstairs in my backyard. I watched her walk down the stairs. And she walked up to me. And I'm on the phone. And only because of the lady that was on the phone with me do I know kind of what happened next. So I was on the phone. Saw a lady in red coming down. I got to make like 2 different time intervals. It's going to be weird. Bear with me. She grabs my hand, and she has me come in my back door in the basement, right? Comes in the back, and as we walk in, her dress kind of changes colors, and her hair grows, and it changes colors, and we're not in my house. We are not in my house. We walk up to a table, and there's a cake on it, and it's got the number 23 written on it, and 2 candles standing on it, and 2 kids standing there, a little boy and a little girl. Girl was about yay taller than the boy. I'm going to say, you can't see how tall, and even if you could, it wouldn't make reference. Less than 3 feet each. And they're facing away from me. And the lady is facing away from me. So like she's leading me in, right, to this table. And I remember standing there and I'm holding her hand, and I got my arm stretched out and I'm holding her hand. And I start looking around, and it's like a white room. It's not all white, it's like eggshell kind of. Like it's got a slight tinge to it. So I remember looking around the room, seeing a couple chairs, a couch, and something on the news caught my attention. And it's where everybody's looking, like up into the corner. So I look up into the corner, and it says like, I can't remember, like, something about everybody being outside. Everybody's outside right now to witness something, it's just everybody's outside. And I was like, I'm literally thinking to myself, what's going on? And I remember walking outside, and I promise you this is weird. I remember walking outside, and I remember looking up, and I got the two kids in front of me and the lady beside me, and we all look up. And I remember, like, we were staring at the sun or something. It was something really bright. And it flashes. And I'm back on my phone. And it's in my lap. And somebody is screaming at me. Like, I can hear my name over and over and over and over. Fish, fish, are you there? Fish. Like, just repeatedly. And I'm like, what the? And as I'm starting to, like, come to, I realize I'm sitting down. Now, I was outside, standing, walking around when I was on the phone. An hour and a half had passed from when I last said, who are you, on the phone. The lady answered. I didn't hear her because I was now somewhere else. I don't know. I don't know what happened. She thought I was talking to her on the phone. So I'm now like, what is going on? So I'm sitting down. An hour and a half has passed. I hear my name repeatedly, and I pick up the phone. I'm like, hello? What just happened? And she's all, you tell me. It's been an hour since I've heard you talk. And I was all, what? And she's all, well, actually, like, since you last spoke any words, and it wasn't to me, it's been an hour. You said something for about a half hour, and then you stopped. Now, I'm completely confused. Because to me, I was in my backyard. I walked in a door. I'm in a new house, and I've got kids in front of me. The lady that's holding my hand, a birthday cake, and we walk outside, and bright light, and I'm sitting down. It was literally almost that fast. And an hour and a half had passed. Really. And I'm sitting down, and I look around, and I realize I'm really high up. I'm really high up. And I'm like, where am I sitting down at? And like, I'm still mentally collecting myself as why I'm on the phone, who I'm talking to. And I look down, and I'm sitting on the edge of the T, like the top of the house, straight down, 2 stories, like just down at concrete, straight down. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I like scamper back off my roof, and I'm like, or back onto the roof, I better say, And I'm like, what's going on? And I had to figure out how to get off my roof because I didn't know how I got there. Like, literally, I was in my backyard. Now I'm on my roof. And, yeah, so the lady, chick I was talking to was like, you talked to me for like a half hour. Well, I guess it was me. You were talking, but it wasn't to me. You never answered me. You were just saying words that didn't make sense. And, yeah, that was my first encounter with the lady in red. Mind you, she never told me what I said. She was too scared to say anything, so I have no detail on that. I literally know it was an hour and a half conversation, or hour and a half time frame, and she thought I like got kidnapped or attacked or something. I don't know. So the second time I saw the lady in red, once again as I like to call her, was quite a few years later. I was at a friend's house. I was sitting down on his couch, and there was another couch in front of us, so it was like parallel to each other. It was in a little trailer. So if you've ever been in a trailer, there's a hallway usually on one side of the trailer to get into bedrooms and to get into the bathroom at the back. And if you're really lucky, you have a room at the back, which they converted in to a game room. They had a giant TV on the side wall and the 2 couches parallel to it. So you had to look on one side, or if you were sitting on the other side the other way to look at the TV. And I would happen to be sitting at the side where the door was literally, like, I know you can't see my chair, but it's right here. Okay, the edge of my chair. If I were to stand up and turn, I'd be walking down the hallway. I stood up, turned, and their bathroom was right here, on the other side. So like you stood up, turned, went around the doorway, into another doorway, and you're in the bathroom. So I stood up to go use the bathroom, and as I went into the bathroom, I grabbed the door handle, and I don't know if you guys have ever had the experience like you're about to pass out, and because you have that, you don't. Because normally everybody I talk to, it's when you don't know you're about to pass out, it's you wake up. So I had that feeling like I was about to pass out. So I was like, I better grab something because this is going to hurt. So I grabbed the doorknob and I went to turn around to go back, like to pull myself out of the bathroom and go back and sit down. When I turned, my body gave. And I slammed into the wall and I went to reach for the counter that was, bathroom, trailer, so not very big. So I slammed into the wall and I'm hanging onto the counter. Once again, really weird. I'm about to explain the most insane thing I've ever had happen in my life. So I can't tell it other than I experienced it, obviously. So I experienced a dual reality. It's not going to make any sense, I promise, because it doesn't make sense to me and I lived it. In my left eye, I watched my homies run into the bathroom, drop to their knees. Fish, are you okay, dude? You look like you just had a heart attack. Like, what's going on? And they're yelling and they're screaming and they're standing there and they're moving in slow motion. They're talking in slow motion, like super slow, like, and the entire conversation goes like that for me, okay? Entire conversation. So keep that in mind this whole time. In my right eye, I see them come in, kneel down. Fish, dude, what's the matter? Are you okay? And then my homie that's in front of me gets tapped on the shoulder by my homie behind him. Okay, so he's standing up. The other one's on his knees, trying to reach for my hand to get me up, whatever. And the dude at the doorway steps to the side, leans in, and touches homie's shoulder. Tap, tap, tap. Dude in front of me leans to the side, so I have an exit. And I'm like, what the is going on? Lady in red comes around the corner, grabs my hand off the counter, and pulls me up. I am looking at my homie shouting at me, Fish, like super slow-mo. What's happening? Are you okay? Whatever you would say to a homie that just passed out and looks like he saw a ghost. I don't know. Right eye. I am now walking down the hallway, out the front door, down the steps, out into the street, walked a full lap, left eye, homie is still yelling at me. In my face. Terrified. I can see the look on his face changing into horror, like I'm not answering, something is deadly wrong. That realization of oh God, something's not right. Dude, screaming at me. Right eye. I walk around this trailer court 3 times. It's not huge. I would say 15 trailers wide by 3-4 rows deep. Okay. We walk around the outer rim of this trailer court 3 times. 3 times. We do not stop talking all 3 laps. Not once. We go back to the house. Left eye homie is still yelling at me. Right eye, I go up the steps. I turn the corner. I see homie in the hallway, staring at me. Lady in red pushes him aside again, and he moves. Lady in red leans down, taps dude on the shoulder. He moves. I am now face to face with myself in my right eye. In my left eye, I am staring at homie, and homie now screaming like, dude, we gotta call 911 type of looks. And the lady in red spins me like a little carousel dance move and lets me go at the same time. So I'm like, and I fall, and I continually fall, and I catch myself on the door and the sink as I'm falling. And I'm back up, and I'm like, what just happened? And my homie is in my face, like literally almost about to kiss, and he flies back, and he's like, what are you doing, dude? Don't scare me like that. Are you okay? And I was like, where did she go? And he goes, what? Are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm okay. Where did she go? Homies look at each other like 5 times. Each other, me. Each other, me. Each other, me. And the last look is like really slow, and they stare at each other. And they haven't said a word yet, other than, are you okay? Why are you doing this to me? Type of thing, you know. And they both look at me really slow and almost in unison. They're like, who are you talking about? I was like, the lady in red that just moved you both to take me out on a walk. And they stare at me and they're like, no, dude, nobody was in here. I was like, no, she just put me down. She just put me down. Like, walked in, dropped me. I grabbed the counter. I almost hit you. And he's like, yeah, you almost hit me, dude. You were down for like 7 seconds. I walked 3 laps around this trail court. 3 laps. We did not stop talking. I almost promise you, we did not stop talking. 7 seconds went by. 7. 3 laps is longer than 7 seconds in almost anything, unless you're light. And it still doesn't make sense to me. Because I know, I felt her hand, I held hands with her. 3 laps I walked with this lady. I talked with her for close to an hour. 7 seconds went by. If anybody can please explain that to me. That was the weirdest, most beautiful moment I've ever experienced in my life. Because that was, I don't even know. I don't know. I mean, you can call me a fake, call me real, call me whatever. That doesn't make sense to me. At all. At all. I don't know what to say to that. Like, to this day, I don't know what to say to that. I know I've had other paranormal experiences, but nothing even comes close to the lady in red. Not even. Like, that was something else. So like I referenced earlier, Sam and Colby, if you guys see this and you've had some experience like that, I would love to know. Call me Chris or Spooky Boo if you guys have had an experience like that. I would seriously love to know that I'm not alone. Or any mediums out there that may be like, this dude, it's got a ghost story. Let's hear it out. That absolutely makes no sense to me. I don't know how. I literally, in one eye, saw slow motion the entire time. It never broke. Like, I watched 7 seconds in my own eye. It was super slow, but I watched it happen. At the same time, I watched me get up and walk away. Now, my left eye, I never saw her. I never saw the lady in red and white left eye. She was never there. So it was like this eye was here, now, reality. This eye was spiritual realm. I don't know if that's a possibility. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I know after that I was weirded out anytime I saw a red dress or a lady with long red, like blood red curly hair. Freaked me out because I thought it was maybe her again. And anytime I saw her, I would walk away. And yeah, it just, I don't even know. I don't know. So if you can explain that to me, please, that would be amazing. Sorry, I got a phone call and I thought it stopped recording, so I was a little worried. I was like, man, I didn't get the end of the video right. But sincerely, everything I told you was true. Everything actually happened to me. I've seen random people that I don't know tell me to tell people that I don't know they're okay. I've I guess been possessed before. I don't know if that's the right terminology. Because, yeah, I was not there. I was doing one thing, woke up to a complete another thing. And like 20 minutes had passed during that time. And I've seen things that I still can't explain. I've got things on video that I can't explain, but naturally, was no longer the owner of said videos, so other people didn't believe, so they destroyed them. It's whatever. The fact that I got to witness most of that firsthand is what gets me. I've definitely heard things, heard voices, got EVPs, electronic voice phenomenon, seen orbs. The list goes on. I saw my grandma upstairs. Really weird things. And I can't explain them, and I don't know what that makes me. I've been told I'm an empath. I've been told I'm a part medium. I don't know if that's a thing. I believe in mediums. I believe in psychics. I do. I don't believe I'm one. Because to me, you would have to be able to do that on the regular basis. It would be a gift. I don't know if I have that gift. I just don't know what happened to me on those days. So, fast forward a couple more years, and I'm in my truck. Me and my homie were talking, smoking a cigarette, and I remember I'm sitting there talking to him, and I got my back to the window in my driver's seat, and he's a big guy, so can't really turn fully, but he's kind of cocked a little bit. And I'm like, yo, yada, yada, yada. I got this new idea for this new CD. I don't know if this lyrics is going to fit right here. Can I show you this song? Show you, check it out. And he's heard my tales of the lady in red. I've never described her face. I've never described how her hair curls. I always said she had red hair and a red dress. Usually like small strap red dress. That's pretty much it. So we're sitting there and I got my back to the window. We're in my front yard or in my driveway and different house. And I remember he like froze, like deer in headlights froze. And he's like, dude, I don't know if you know this, but there's a chick standing outside your window right now. And I was like, what? And I turned, nobody there. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's all, she's standing right there. And he points like right here over my shoulder. And I'm like, what? I'm getting chills on my back right now. I'm like, what? And nobody's there. Promise you nobody's there. I see nobody. And I'm like, she there right now? And he's like, yeah. I was like, what is she doing? She's like, she's staring at you. I was like, are you seeing your reflection or something, dude? Because there's nobody in that window. There's nobody there. It's nighttime. It's like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., something like that. It was like a little after 2 a.m. But I'm like, dude, there's nobody there. And he's like, no, for real, there is somebody there, and she is staring at you. And then something happened, and I don't know if I just can't remember it. I remember clear as day saying somebody's there. I remember the conversation about it. I remember I'm not seeing anybody. And then it was like the next day. What happened? I don't know. I'm sorry for this really long video. I hope you guys watched it. I am so sorry. It has been surreal. I wanted to get my mind off of things tonight, so thank you for being my vent. I don't know if I said it in this video or one of the previous takes. A couple weeks ago, I did the depression video. My girlfriend at the time, we decided to split ways almost 6 hours after that video was recorded. I don't even think it was fully posted yet because my internet's been crap. But if you did watch this all the way, thank you. Sincerely from the bottom of my heart to every new subscriber out there, thank you. I am really sorry it has been this long of a video. I have not done this one in a long time. So thank you for sitting through this with me. I appreciate it. If you are in the ghosts, I would love to know where you're at. Maybe I'll road trip there and go check out what you think is haunted, because I would love to. Sam and Colby, if you guys happen to see this, mad huge shout out to you guys for everything you do. I don't know if you guys are still doing videos. I haven't seen anything from you guys in like a year. I recently saw a video where Sam had actually broke his back. So I hope you are recovering well. Colby, I recently found out that you were diagnosed with cancer. I am happy you beat it, good sir. Oh my God, beyond happy. Blessings to you both. Call me Chris has recently moved down to our half of the country here. Welcome. I know it's way late and belated. I hope you enjoy your stay in the States. It's Spooky Boo. You're still north of the border. Much love to you. Yeah, I enjoy all your guys' videos. I love when people actually comment and on any of my videos. I can only imagine how they feel when, they get hundreds of thousands of comments, and I'm like, I can't even get 25. Yay. But it's got to start somewhere, right? So, to anybody that does watch these now or in the future, thank you. I do appreciate you. I am after that YouTube button, so please help me get there. I would sincerely appreciate it. If you have a YouTube and you want a new follower, I got you. Just let me know that you subscribe to me and you want a subscriber, and I got you. I will not unsubscribe. Facts. Because life is too short and you never know what somebody else has to offer. As always, I want you to grab your friends and chase your dreams. It's an amazing thing when it happens. And I love your face. I love your face piece. I love that piece of your face that makes your face piece. A piece of your face belongs to you. I am Fish Sticks. I love it. You guys have been amazing. You guys have been supportive. You guys have been incredible. I hope you have a good weekend. Happy Fish Sticks Fridays, number 20. Maybe that's why it was so long. It was number 20. And drop a comment down below of your favorite haunted place, somewhere you've always wanted to go to where it's haunted. Or if you've had a haunted experience and maybe you want me to talk about it. If you do, we can get in contact on here or on another social media platform, and you can anonymous message me type of thing. You can find me on MC Fish Sticks under all major platforms. Music-wise, you can find me under MC Fish Sticks on pretty much everything else. You got to add the reel to it for like Instagram and Threads. Other than that, I hope you get in touch. I hope you let me know about your spooky experiences. And you guys have a blessed night. Stay safe. Drive careful. It is a 50-minute video. I am out. You guys stay safe. Have a good night.